Hey guys, welcome to what will be the third video in this series as well as the final video in this series where I have been discussing what is known so far regarding new uniforms that could be in the works for the 2020-21 NHL season. Now, hopefully by the time October rolls around later this year, hopefully we will not only see the NHL and other sports leagues start on time, but also I'm hoping that by then, hopefully we can finally end this pandemic once and for all. I really do hope that the world can get this COVID-19 pandemic finished, hopefully sooner rather than later. It's been devastating and very scary to see what it's done to the world, whether it's people losing their jobs or people getting sick and even people dying. Far too many people have been affected by this devastating virus, and I just hope that this pandemic will hopefully end very soon. Fingers crossed there, and a huge thanks to all of the first responders and essential service workers out there. You guys are incredible, and thank you for everything you do. Now, in terms of this series, I concluded my last video by discussing the New Jersey Devils. Now, thanks to Aesthetics, we have learned that supposedly the Devils are actually planning on doing an inverted jersey, which will be a green version of their throwback uniforms. However, we still don't know if either it's going to be a green flip of the red jersey or a green flip of the beautiful white jersey you see here. Now, in my opinion, they should take this design and flip it in green. But I gotta be honest, I didn't really say this in my last video, but the fact that they're supposedly considering a green jersey instead of a black jersey, I find that really surprising. But I must say though, I really do tip my hat to the Devils if that's the case, that they're going to do a green jersey that's an inverted flip of one of their original jerseys, like the one you see here, because honestly, if I were to guess, I would have said that the Devils would have done a simple black jersey, whether it's a full-time third or a relatively little used uniform as part of this new fourth jersey program that I hear is supposed to be a mix of throwbacks and inverted flips of classic uniforms or throwback uniforms. I think I just said that. My apologies. But the fourth jersey program, from what I hear, is supposed to be a chance for teams to either add a throwback to their wardrobe or an inverted flip of an existing throwback design, like what the Devils are supposedly doing next season with a green flip of their throwback uniforms. Personally, I do hope it's a flip of this beautiful white throwback you see here for the Devils, but as I say that, it's great that they're going to do a green jersey instead of a black one, in my opinion, because I think it's really cool to see green making a little bit of a comeback in terms of NHL uniforms in recent years. And you know, I think enough teams wear black already. But I would, the thing that pisses me off is that the Devils' home and away jerseys they switched to in 2017, not only did they replace two of the nicest jerseys in the NHL, at least in my opinion, but what also pisses me off is that their new uniforms look like something I would expect to see a team do in the Reebok Edge era. I mean, I'm sorry, but their redesign really has pissed me off since the day the Devils got rid of their home and away jerseys they actually won 3 Stanley Cups wearing. I mean, their last uniforms, home and away jerseys, were beautiful jerseys and very underrated in my opinion. And now they've got these half-finished, half-assed home and away jerseys, and I'm sorry, instead of focusing on a new fourth jersey, the Devils should be correcting the mistake they made and go back to the jerseys they had from 1992 all the way up until the end of the 2016-17 season. I mean, this is ridiculous. But I will give the Devils a tip of the hat for trying a green jersey if this rumor is true. I do think that's actually going to potentially be a really good uniform. But I still think the Devils need to fix the main jerseys first. Then I would be a whole lot more excited about this than I am right now. Even though I think it's going to be cool, I'm sorry, but fix your damn main jerseys first. Now, moving on in terms of my list that I've got here, the New York Islanders. Now, they've already got a home and an away and a third jersey, but I have seen some mock-ups online of what an orange version of their home jersey would look like. And there's part of me that's kind of thinking that it's very possible we could maybe... Actually, hang on. What I'm trying to say here is that perhaps the Islanders brought out their third jersey last season knowing about this program so that they could do an orange flip of their home jersey. Sorry to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but that would not surprise me one bit. And personally, although an orange flip of their home jersey is not necessarily my favorite uniform in the world, if I picture it in my head, I do think it would be a decent alternate jersey to wear a few times a year for 2 or 3 seasons. I actually think that if teams are doing this fourth jersey program, that's one team that I would like to see actually attempt an inverted jersey. I do think it could actually look not too bad. I mean, according to what Aesthetics has said, if I remember correctly, he said that what the rumor is that the fourth jersey program would be an extra jersey that teams would wear very minimally in a season, maybe like 3 to 5 games max. I mean, if the Islanders did an orange flip of their home jersey, I don't think that would be a bad choice. I actually would not be against seeing it. Now, as for the New York Rangers, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Now, okay, you guys can't see that. I'm not even going to try that. But with the New York Rangers, the rumor that I heard, that I've seen on the internet at least, is that supposedly the Rangers were looking at a new Lady Liberty alternate jersey, and they were, according to the Adidas catalog released a year ago, they were supposed to be unveiling a new third jersey for this 2019-2020 season. However, as you can see, the Rangers ultimately scrapped those plans, So, I'm not sure what's going to happen. I mean, if the Rangers scrapped their planned third jersey, could we maybe see a Lady Liberty jersey next season? Or with this fourth jersey program, maybe we get a return of the heritage third jersey the Rangers had during the Reebok Edge era. Maybe you get that and a new Lady Liberty jersey, and maybe just as a throwback instead of a new design. I mean, we could see that. 90s throwbacks seem to be a new popular trend in the NHL right now. And I know that, judging from what I've heard, the Lady Liberty uniforms are still relatively popular. So, I mean, I very honestly, I would not be the least bit surprised if the Rangers did turn around and bring back the Lady Liberty jersey as part of this fourth jersey program, or even as a new third jersey. I'm going to be honest, my favorite Rangers alternate jersey of all time is the heritage uniform they wore during the Reebok years. The navy blue with the red and cream accents saying New York on the front instead of Rangers. I thought it was a very, very beautiful uniform. It, to me, was a wonderful compliment to a team that has some of the most beautiful uniforms in the game of hockey. And I personally, I know it's a matter of opinion, and I respect your opinion if you disagree with me, but the Lady Liberty uniforms are not my favorite. I think the idea of a logo with the Lady Liberty on the front, I think that's really cool. I think it's great that the Rangers did something cool like that at all. But I don't know. For me, I would rather the Rangers do a throwback-ish uniform for a third jersey. I love the heritage uniform they wore during the Reebok years as a third jersey. I thought that was the best third jersey, and in my opinion, it still is the best third jersey they've ever had by a country mile. Obviously, that's my opinion. I don't expect you viewers to all agree with me there. But, you know, I wouldn't mind that. Or one thing, another idea too that I would like to see, and I'll pull it up here real quick. You know, what really frustrated me with their 2018 Winter Classic uniform is I hated that silhouette of the Rangers shield on the front where every player had it, whether they were a captain or an alternate captain or not. I didn't like that fake shoulder, that upper chest, lower shoulder area striping that is on their classic white jersey that they shoehorned onto that jersey for the Winter Classic. I thought it was horrible, personally. But, you know, for me, if the Rangers are going to do a new third jersey, they should either do a third jersey again. They should either bring back the Reebok era third jersey, which in my opinion, that uniform was beautiful, or they should take the 2018 Winter Classic design and tweak it so that it looks like this and wear this as a third jersey instead. I mean, I quickly sat down on my computer one night and I took all that other crap off of the 2018 Winter Classic jersey. I made this mock-up for anybody curious, but this is what I think the Rangers should do for a third jersey personally. And notice how I put the waist striping right on the bottom of the jersey. That was another big no-no for me about their Winter Classic jersey. And that 2018 sweater the Rangers pulled out, it really pissed me off. You know why? Because as you can see here, they were a matter of a few tweaks away from making a great uniform. And instead, as far as I'm concerned, they royally crapped the bed. And it sucks. It really, really sucks, in my opinion. But I don't know. If the Rangers are going to do a third jersey again of some sort, I think they should do the heritage uniform from the Reebok years or the mock-up that I made that I just showed you guys there. Sorry to be patting myself on the back here, but to me, if the Rangers did something like that, that would be such a gorgeous third jersey. And it would also be a wonderful homage to the original word mark that the Rangers had when they joined the National Hockey League back in 1926. I mean, it would have been a wonderful homage to the original Rangers sweater. But anyway, rant aside, moving on again to the Ottawa Senators. We've all been hearing for a long time that the Senators are finally getting new uniforms. Their Reebok-era uniforms are some of the worst in the NHL. And I actually feel that the switch over to the Addy Zero template has made them even worse. I don't know if everyone will agree with me there, but I actually preferred the old number letter font than the new simple block font there. That's a rare exception. But in this case, I feel that Ottawa absolutely crapped the bed. I mean, I'm sorry, but these uniforms suck. But, you know, their third jersey, the 100 Classic third jersey they've been wearing for now a third season now, I feel it's one of the most underappreciated third jerseys in the National Hockey League right now. This is just bad. But I recently made a video discussing how it sounds like the Senators are finally fixing their uniforms. But now that another chief marketing officer, I believe, was let go, and with this current pandemic going on, we may not see new uniforms for Ottawa by the time the next season gets rolling around. And as far as I'm concerned, that's disappointing. So I'm kind of changing my own prediction from what I said a matter of, I believe, a couple of months ago when I did my video discussing the rumor that the Senators are getting new uniforms next season. I I remember, until something is confirmed, I very well could be wrong. All of this is just hearsay and rumors until it's fully confirmed. But with Ottawa, I'm actually going to change my tune and say that I don't think they're getting new uniforms next season, and I think it's an absolute shame, too. It's ridiculous. Now, moving on to the Philadelphia Flyers. I know that in January they hosted an 80s night. But before that night happened, there was a promo video, and the lady in the video, she said that, didn't the Flyers have a darker shade of orange back then? So that made me wonder, are the Flyers kind of contemplating an 80s throwback jersey? Well, with this new fourth jersey program coming along, I actually think it would be super awesome if the Flyers brought that uniform back for a few games a year. Now, would I want it to be the start of a return to those uniforms? Absolutely not. They are nowhere near as good as the absolutely gorgeous Broad Street Bully era uniforms that they've thankfully gone back to. Obviously, that's my opinion and may not be yours. But to me, the home and away jerseys they have now are the best they've ever had. I love those original 70s uniforms that the Flyers have gone back to, thankfully, in recent years and in the past decade. Those, I hope, are never, ever changed again. They are beautiful. Now, if the Flyers want to add an 80s throwback with this new fourth jersey program coming in next season, I'm all for it. I think most people would love to see it a few times a year. Their black third jersey is a jersey that allows the Flyers to be a little bit out there. It's not my favorite jersey, but you know what? For a third jersey, it does do what a third jersey should do in a lot of cases. Not always. I like it when some teams go traditional, but you know what? I do prefer that, actually. But with the Flyers, they participated in the 2017 Stadium Series. They did a new design that was rather out there, and I don't disagree with people in the sense that it's good enough to be a third jersey. Now, is it my favorite third jersey? Hell no. But I do have to agree with people that do like it, that as a third jersey, it's not horrible. It's not my favorite. I think the big orange nameplates are eyesores, but for me, the jersey has grown on me enough that although I still don't love it, I do tip my hat to the Flyers for trying something new and creative and giving the fans that have wanted a black jersey in Philadelphia for a while a chance to have a new black jersey to enjoy. The black on black numbers are creative. It's something no other NHL team has done. And for it being something different as a new third jersey to be more experimental, I think the Flyers do deserve a little bit of credit there, even though I still think the 2012 Winter Classic jersey is by far and away the best third jersey that team has ever had. Now, if I had a pick of what the Flyers could do if they were to add a fourth jersey, for me, it would have to be the 2012 Winter Classic Flyers sweater. That uniform, to me, is gorgeous. Now, this third jersey they have now from the 2017 Stadium Series, if that was a jersey they wore a few times a year as a so-called fourth jersey, and they brought that jersey from 2012 back as a full-time third again, that to me would be the perfect wardrobe for the Philadelphia Flyers. The Winter Classic jersey is an alternate, and the Flyers Stadium Series jersey as an additional fourth jersey that is loud, experimental, and something different that's a bit of a treat for the fans who love crazy designs a few times a year at the most. That, to me, would be the perfect four-jersey set for the Flyers. Their current home and away jerseys, the 2012 Winter Classic sweater as a third jersey, and the 2017 Stadium Series Flyers sweater as a fourth jersey to bring out now and then for a few times a year. That would be perfect for me, but as for the Flyers, truth is, I don't think they will do anything new, but I could be wrong. Now, as for Pittsburgh, they've had this third jersey based off of their Stadium Series uniforms since last season. I mean, I'm glad that the Penguins brought back the triangle-less penguin on a Pittsburgh gold jersey, but this jersey is half finished to me, and it looks like the jersey looks like it started out as a muscle shirt where they added sleeves to it. That's what it's always looked like to me. I wanted to see a new bright Pittsburgh gold jersey with some waist striping. And it really annoys me that they just did this instead. If they were going to go this route without waist striping, they should have just brought back the original Stadium Series design from 2017 instead of this. As a third jersey, it's okay. I'm glad that Pittsburgh has brought back a Pittsburgh gold jersey as a full-time third, though. Do I think Pittsburgh's going to do anything in terms of a new third jersey? I don't think they will. But Pittsburgh is a very popular team, and they have been for years because of the whole Crosby-Malkin era that is still going on and hopefully will continue for a long time yet. I don't want to see Crosby or Malkin or anybody on a team have to end their careers because of injuries. And with Crosby, it's been a few close calls where there were times where I think the last time he was injured, I was thinking to myself, wow, is this guy going to have to retire? I was honestly concerned. Now, I'm not a Penguins fan myself, but, you know, with how popular the Penguins are and how big their fan base is, whether it's full of bandwagoners or not, I can't see the Penguins not doing a fourth jersey next season. They are definitely a team that I think is far too popular for Adidas and the Penguins not to work together on a new fourth jersey design for. I think for them, they see dollar signs, in my opinion, and I can't see them missing a chance to add a fourth jersey to one of the NHL's most likely one of the NHL's most popular, if not the most popular team. They're definitely one of the most popular. I think saying they're that's most popular is probably a matter of opinion, depending on who you ask. I think the most popular team is probably an original six team, not the Penguins myself. But I don't want to get into that debate. But the thing is I know the Penguins are for sure one of the most popular teams in the NHL right now and have been for years. So to see them not do a fourth jersey, I would be shocked. As for a new third jersey, I say they keep this jersey a little longer. Now, moving on to St. Louis, Aesthetics has said, well, could these guys be one of the fourth jersey program pioneers? Not only did they wear their 67 throwbacks as their third jerseys this year, but they did surprise us with a mid-1990s throwback uniform to wear for 3 games this season. Now, am I okay with the Blues keeping that jersey for another season or two to wear a few times a year? I'm all for it. It's not my favorite uniform, but for another season or two, I don't mind seeing that uniform come back for a few games. But I don't know. I think that the Blues will definitely bring that jersey back at least for one more season. But once they skate out for the 2021 Winter Classic against Minnesota, and hopefully the NHL will be able to have a Winter Classic next year, let alone a season. But under the current awful circumstances, of course, it's absolutely horrible what we've seen take place as a result of this pandemic. But with the Blues, I'm going to go out on a limb like I did with the Calgary Flames and their Heritage Classic game earlier this season against the Jets. I am predicting the Blues bring out a white 60s throwback. Now, I don't think it'll be the first white jersey in franchise history, but it will be the second version. And either that or they'll go a little bit of a faux back route so that the waist striping matches the blue 67 throwback they wore in the 2017 Winter Classic. I could see them doing a little bit of a slight faux back tweak, and personally, I do think that would look really good, but I'm predicting a 60s white throwback for the Blues against the Wild. Whether they wear a North Stars throwback, which that's what I really want to see, or a new fullback design. That's something we'll have to wait and see on, but I don't know. I really love the idea of the Blues doing a white 60s era throwback now that they've brought back the blue one and they have that as a third jersey now. So that's something I'm really looking forward to be honest. Now, as for San Jose, I have a feeling that they could bring out their 90s throwbacks again. I think they should. That's a really, really great uniform. But if they do bring it back, hopefully this time they bring it back with the original hue of teal that is brighter than the current one. I've always felt that the brighter teal is far better than the current teal that the Sharks have had since the tail end of the 1990s. And personally, I would not be surprised if the Sharks end up eventually getting new uniforms. We've seen them add in their new secondary logo on the shoulders. It's made its way to the shoulders of their home and away jerseys. Much more prominent on their home jerseys now, but at least as a shoulder patch than the away jersey is, or than it is on the away jersey rather. But I would not be surprised if we eventually see that logo become the primary logo. The Sharks desperately need new uniforms. They are far too plain. In fact, they were one of the best looking teams at the beginning of the Reebok Edge era and ended up looking, by the end of it, as one of the most boring looking teams uniform wise. So I think the Sharks are long overdue for new uniforms and an overhaul. So do I think they get a fourth jersey next year? I would be surprised if they did, to be honest. I don't think they will. But I actually think it's very possible we may finally see them get some new uniforms. But I wouldn't count on that either, sadly. I hope they do, though. They need to. Now, as for Tampa Bay, in my opinion, they've got... The problem isn't the... Well, okay, how do I explain this best? Now, the jersey design of their home and away jerseys... The jersey design is good. It's a nice, simple design. But the problem is it's too much like Toronto. I mean, they don't even have black on these. I mean, I love that with the switch over to Adidas that they took off the stupid Tampa Bay word mark above the little crumpled or squished up logo and just made it a perfect flip of this jersey, their home jersey. But still, it's too plain. Their jerseys are far too plain and far too similar to Toronto. I can honestly tell you a story of recently where I was watching a game on TV with my dad, and he said, "Oh, you're watching the Maple Leafs?" And I said, "No, that's the Tampa Bay Lightning." And he said, "I thought they were Toronto." Those are the words right out of my dad's mouth. And yeah, they suck. Their jerseys are horrible. Not because the design sucks, but because of how boring and how close to Toronto they are. They're the Tampa Bay Lightning. They could be so much better looking and have something cool, unique, and distinct and original. But no, let's play Maple Leafs dress up. And to make matters worse, although this is the best third jersey they've had since their first Reebok era third jersey, which only got replaced by a Los Angeles Kings knockoff, they bring this new gradient shirt out as a third jersey. It's duller than a used pencil, as far as I'm concerned. This thing is just mediocre beyond all logic, as far as I'm concerned. No waist striping, no nothing. There's not even a touch of blue on here. The home and away jerseys are essentially black free, except for a little bit of trim on the numbers, and then they bring these things out and they don't even include blue. I mean, for Christ's sake, what the hell is this crap? Jeez. Tampa Bay needs new uniforms right now. They are a team that I think needs new uniforms right now. They should have replaced these uniforms long ago. Seriously. But you want to see what my favorite Tampa Bay jersey is of all time. And personally, I'd love to see the Lightning do something new and actually creative and cool. But to me, the 2004 Stanley Cup winning black jersey and its white counterpart are the best jerseys that the Tampa Bay Lightning have ever had. I thought the white on black with a bit of blue was actually distinct. It looked good. I mean, their current jerseys, I mean, I love the traditional design, but I don't love how close they are to in comparison to the goddamned Maple Leafs. Like Tampa Bay, you are your own team. Have your own look. You're called the Lightning. You could have some really great uniforms if you took the time to design something new and different. But no, of course not. In fact, there is something that I do want to do. And what I want to do is I want to show you guys a concept that a YouTuber made, and his name is Windy City Hockey. And he is a longtime subscriber and friend of mine, and I want to show you the concept that he made, because in my opinion, at the bare minimum, something like this would be at least more promising, whether it's a third jersey or a primary jersey. But look at that right there. That is what a good black Lightning jersey could be. Something that's more modern. It's got a bright hue of blue on it. It's even got a bit of dark gray on it. Nicely done. Really, really well done. Something like that, at the bare minimum, should be their third jersey. In fact, I still think the Tampa Bay Lightning should give him a phone call. And sorry to be going on a tangent, but the Tampa Bay Lightning have some of the most boring uniforms in the entire NHL. I mean, at least the San Jose Sharks have a unique color in teal. I mean, I think we can at least give them that, eh? But the Lightning, I mean, their third jersey, they can't even make a half-decent third jersey. Seriously, give Windy City Hockey a phone call, Tampa Bay. That, in my opinion, would be the best third jersey that franchise has ever had. Instantly. That is what a good third jersey looks like. It's got some taste, some good taste to it. It's something new. It's something modern. Now that is something the Lightning would really be praised for if they brought that out as a new third jersey. Hell, I even think they could bring that out as a home jersey with a matching away. And people would really love to see the decision that Tampa Bay has made to finally embrace a little bit of creativity, a little bit of decency, instead of looking like Toronto and creating some half-assed third jersey with a stupid gradient on it that looks like a boring shirt. Jeez. I think your average Joe could produce a better third jersey for him. Seriously. Now, as for Toronto, they've got the St. Pat's throwback they wear for 2 games a year now, which I think is great that Toronto does bring that out a couple times a year instead of once a year, eh? I think that's really great. In terms of a fourth jersey, I'd love to see Toronto bring out the Arenas throwback again for a couple games a year for the next 2 to 3 seasons. I think that would be great. Or something that I would really like to see is either the 2014 Winter Classic sweater be brought out and throwback uniform worn a few times a year again, which I think they should wear it for at least a season or 2. I think they should. But another one that I think is far too good to be passed up, and it still has bothered me to this day that they only ever wore it once, and that is the Toronto Maple Leafs Centennial Classic uniform. What a wonderful, wonderful third jersey that would be. I still can't comprehend why Toronto didn't wear it for at least a second game that season. And I'm going to show you a picture of it just to look at it again. I mean, this is one of my absolute favorite Maple Leaf jerseys. Honestly, it is really quite a nice, really, really pretty uniform. This, to me, is a uniform design that would be a marvelous third jersey. I wouldn't want it to ever be their primary jersey, but as a third jersey, it's very tasteful. It's a nice homage to their past while also being something a little bit different and being something new. I think it's far too good for them to have only ever worn it for that one outdoor game against the Red Wings in Toronto. I'm sorry, but that jersey is a jersey that I think they should bring back and wear a few times a year if they're bringing in this fourth jersey program. So with Toronto, I don't think they will bring a fourth jersey in, but if they did, I'm all for it if they brought that one back. Now, as for the Canucks, I actually think that what we're going to see is we're going to see them leave all four of their jerseys alone. They got new updated home and away jerseys, which I do think are a little bit better than what they replaced, even though I think the Orca needs to be finally retired, which it should have been retired years ago. It's been around for far too long. I'm sick of the Orca. I mean, I want to see the Canucks at the bare minimum go back to the skate full time. And from what I've seen, the reception from Canuck fans has been very, very much in favor of the skate. I think a lot of people want to see it at least get promoted to third jersey status instead of a fourth jersey. But I noticed that Vancouver added a fourth game to wear the skate this season. So that's a good sign. And hopefully, obviously next season, they're not changing their home and away jerseys or their third jersey. They're going to be, in my opinion at least, I think we'll see Vancouver keep all four of their jerseys. But 2020 is the 50th year since the franchise started as part of their 50th anniversary. Who knows? Maybe they sub out the skate for the Flying V or something else. I wouldn't be against the Canucks doing a Flying V throwback. I felt that they should have done it for their 50th anniversary for one game, but oh well. I would have rather seen the skate throwback as a third jersey and a Flying V throwback as a fourth jersey. Or even or taking advantage of the 50th anniversary to bring out an extra bonus throwback. But I mean, Montreal had multiple throwbacks for their 100th anniversary. I mean, I don't know. But at least for next season, it would be really great if the Canucks at least did a Flying V throwback or brought back the white throwback from the 1970-71 season that they wore for their 40th anniversary season. That is my favorite blue and green color schemed uniform in Canucks history. Absolutely gorgeous. But I actually will predict that Vancouver does not change anything and leaves all four of their jerseys alone that they've got right now. Now, as for the Golden Knights, they are getting a new gold third jersey. It has been confirmed. They had trouble getting the color right with Adidas. So I hear that it's going to be unveiled this summer. I can't wait. I hear that, actually, if I remember correctly, supposedly Bill Foley has said that he prefers the gold jersey over the gray one. And hopefully, if he's saying that, I have a feeling it's going to just be a flip of the home and away jerseys. But I actually have a feeling that it could eventually get eased in as their new home jersey. And personally, I'd love to see it happen, even though I do think the gray jersey is really well done. And speaking of the Golden Knights, here, I'll show you a photo here. I mean, I think that shade of gold is absolutely gorgeous. It's a unique color. I think that hue of gold as the main color on a third jersey is an absolutely marvelous idea. I can't wait to see it personally. And if this computer ever works between now and Christmas. The home jersey is really good for a new modern unconventional color in dark gray. No one has ever done a dark gray jersey in the NHL before. And as far as I'm concerned, Vegas did a great job. But imagine this design, but with gold instead of dark gray. I think that's what the Golden Knights are going to do. And I think it's going to look really nice when it's done. Even though, as I say that, this uniform here for a dark gray jersey, I think the Golden Knights actually did a great job on. As for their away jersey, though, I don't like the dark gray on white. I think it should have been black, even though I do, in terms of uniqueness, I do tip my hat to Vegas for being steel gray heavy for their away uniform. It's not my favorite choice, but I really respect them for trying to be unique. But I can't wait for that gold jersey next season. Holy cow. Now, as for Washington, I mean, is it possible that they could add a fourth jersey? Maybe. I mean, they could. Perhaps they do a navy blue jersey finally, besides the short-lived Stadium Series uniform that I thought was really mediocre and really disappointing, and should have had the Weagle on the front and could have been a great new third jersey design, while pushing the throwback to a heritage status to wear only 3 or 4 times a year for a little while. But no. Instead, they created a mediocre Stadium Series uniform for their game against Toronto, which I thought was a shame. But yeah, I don't think they'll do anything new, but you never know. Now, as for Winnipeg, and for anybody curious, I'm going to end this video by discussing the situation with Seattle. But this was their Heritage Classic uniform this season. And then obviously, this was the white version that they wore in the 2017 Heritage Classic against the Oilers. If these were the third and fourth jerseys for the Jets next season, not only would I not be surprised, but personally, I would not be against it at all. Now, as for the navy blue jersey, I got to make a bit of a confession here, though, folks. I did not enjoy the navy blue version of this anywhere near as much as I enjoyed the white version of it. I think they should have at least added a white outline around the logo to make it pop a little bit more. It really blended into the jersey a little bit too much for my liking. But I will say this, though, and here, let me pull up this photo here. If I can ever pull it up between now and Christmas. You know, honestly, I've really respected the Jets for trying a new third jersey design that is not only something new that uses the lighter hue of blue that the Jets have had since they became the Jets after relocating from Atlanta basically a decade ago now. But, you know, the thing is that I agree with people. This jersey design was relatively boring, and it could have been a lot better, even though I absolutely respect the hell out of the Jets for creating a new design that also pays homage to the different eras of Winnipeg Jets hockey. And I felt this was a really great tribute uniform, but I would not be shocked if the Heritage Classic uniforms both become third and fourth jerseys for them next season and this quietly gets retired. I don't think a lot of people would miss this if those became their third and fourth jerseys respectively. Personally, I would rather see the Jets go that direction than keep this around, but hey, time will tell what they do. But I'm predicting that's what the Jets will do. Now, to conclude this series, let's quickly talk about Seattle. They still don't have a team name, but I hear that they've gone with Kraken. What a stupid name, in my opinion. They could have done a name that pays homage to their hockey history. Or they could have done something like even the Seattle Sockeye or Sockeyes. Even that name, even though it wasn't my favorite choice, I could live with that over the Kraken. You know, the whole story of the Kraken, the mythological story of the almighty Kraken, is a cool story. And you always hear the term, release the Kraken. Whether it's talking about, I think the movie Clash of the Titans, or Wrath of the Titans, maybe even both, or even the rum, Kraken rum. Oh, are you going to release the Kraken tonight? I get that part of it, but to name your hockey team the Seattle Kraken, that to me is a new modern day version of what the Minnesota Wild did when they came into the NHL 20 years ago. Give it a decade or so, and people will look at that name like people look at the name Minnesota Wild now, as a cheesy, stupid name for a team. And it's a shame, especially with Minnesota, because their logo is very, very good. And even their away jersey is not bad. But, you know, calling your team the Wild, if you were a minor league team or an AHL team, whatever, but an NHL franchise, you gotta pick a good name, especially. I mean, I think they should just get the name rights, logo rights, uniform rights at the Seattle Thunderbirds and call it a day, personally. And I don't think you'd have a single complaint. They'd be some of the better uniforms in the NHL. Right away. Or the name I would have gone with is Seattle Totems. They actually have a hockey history in Seattle with teams called the Totems. In fact, that's the name that the Seattle group that was trying to get an NHL team there back in the 70s were going to call the team. Had a team actually gone to Seattle back then. But, I don't know. I just hope that when this whole name thing is announced that it's not Kraken. It's a bad choice, in my opinion. And if you love the name, I respect your opinion 100%. And you know what? I will be very happy for you. But I'm just going to be honest. I think it's a terrible choice. Now, in terms of the fourth jersey program, I will talk about it in more detail in going forward at a later date, but I've decided I'm going to spend at least a video or two on it separately and do it as a separate little video project rather than continue on this series. Also because of the fact that the Buccaneers, the Falcons, and the Colts have all unveiled uniform changes of in the NFL, so I need to get to those videos. Plus, I want to do a special roundup video or two coming up. I might have a second one under my sleeve here for anybody curious. But anyways, you guys, if you have watched this series from start to finish, I know it's been about 2 hours in length, but you know what? I will say, at least my series is better than the movie Ocean's 8, the one that was released about 2 or 3 years ago. Well, I watched it last night with my family, and I thought it sucked. Wow, that was boring. Hopefully this series was more entertaining than that movie for you, and if it wasn't, I do apologize. And I know this video has been long as hell, like the other two, but I just wanted to make sure I covered everything in the best detail possible. And in the future, I will look into possibly revising the way I do these. But anyways, you guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video series if you have watched it start to finish. And until my next video, you guys take care, and as usual, bye for now.